Hello everyone, Artist Charles Wolf here. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I have been exploring digital art using the program Photoshop, and I wanted to share with you a quick sketch that I have created using this program. It's kind of an amazing piece of software. The more I've been playing with it, the more I've been impressed by how much you actually can do with this program, particularly with all the different brushes that you have at your disposal. And I'm going to be using sort of an oil style brush here. You also could use a chalk brush for this, and I will actually be using a chalk brush later on in this video. And I'm just putting in some indications of clouds. I'm going to do a very atmospheric piece today. I'm sort of being inspired by some of the early work of Monet, and I've been looking at several of his paintings recently, and so I'm going to be kind of doing an impression of a morning sunrise. Maybe I'll have a little path by a stream or a lake or something like that. So just putting in a few indications here with this brush using a light blue background. It's about 2000 by 1000 pixels for my backdrop there. And then I've come in here and started to lay in some trees using a greenish gray color. So I have a gray for the clouds, which I'm going to add some accent highlights to in a minute. And then I'm going to start putting in, using some vertical strokes here, some of the green gray for the trees. Create a nice tree line. One of the things that I've found that I really enjoy about this program is that you can quickly undo anything. Now, in painting, of course you can fix your mistakes, but if I'm doing a video for you all, I try to minimize any errors, and if I make a decision, I try to stick with it. So the more that I can successfully do that, the better I feel my videos come out in the long run. But something like this where I'm doing a quick sketch, I don't really have anything in front of me that I'm looking at. I'm really using my imagination and trying to create something that's interesting. That means I can be a little bit more ambitious, be more creative, and use my intuition to guide me further with this process. I don't have to worry about backing up and putting something down and realizing, oh, that's not really working the way I wanted to, and just undoing it really fast. So it's a wonderful program for just being creative and trying things. This could also be a wonderful way for you to have an idea, get it down on a palette here, get it down on a canvas of sorts, I guess, and a backdrop, and you can test it out and see this tree's here, I want to move it over here, and it's very easy to, in this program, to cut and paste and move things around. So if you haven't tried Photoshop before, there is a trial version that is, I believe, free. You can give it a try and see if you like it. Okay, I've gone to some light creamy yellow, and I'm going to put some indications of the sun rising on some of these clouds here. And I've grabbed a paler yellow there on my color tool. I clicked on the color tab on the top right, went over and just moved the little selector there to the left towards the white to get a slightly less vibrant and saturated color of the yellow. It's very cool that way. You can pick a color, and then I can go to the color selector on the left tab and adjust it darker, lighter, more saturated, less saturated, etc. I've gone back to that pale green, maybe slightly lighter green here. I'm just putting in some trees really sticking out of the line of them there. I've been trying to experiment with what works for my channel. I've been doing those watercolor paintings recently, and those have been okay, not hugely popular, so which is fine. Things take time for people to find my stuff, and I'm still fairly early on in my channel, so that's okay. But I've been enjoying painting the watercolors, so if you haven't checked those out, be sure to do so. They were a lot of fun to paint, and I know I really appreciate every single view that I get on my paintings. It helps inspire me to continue to do that and to keep painting. So please check those out. If you have a moment and want to see some more great art, then do so. I've got some purple, some light purple, kind of a lavender there, and I'm just kind of being creative and fun with these colors and experimenting a bit. Now I'm not really worried about the right hand side here on the tree line because I'm going to put some foreground trees that's going to cover up that area anyways. I've taken that same green-gray color and pulled it forward, creating a front hill here. Then I'm going to have a little path coming out from over there, connecting to it. Just quickly sketching this in. Oops, didn't quite like that line, so one button and I undo it. It's awesome. Still using that oil paint style tool. Okay, taking my eraser tool here, trying to undo a little bit, create more of a path there. I might put that to a different color so it stands out better. I'm not sure yet. Again, I don't really have a plan with this. I'm sort of putting things down, seeing how they look, going back and making changes until I'm satisfied with the end result, like you do. This, of course, is in real time. I have not sped this up at all. And I'm just having fun with some colors here. Grab some pale pink of all things. I thought, why not? We'll put some pink in here. Be a nice contrast and accent. I think some of the pink is lost by the final result. I think I cover it up with other layers, but it never hurts to toss in some brighter colors in the foreground to draw your interest. There's some orange. I'll play that in, maybe make a hint of autumn there, perhaps. Autumn's gone quickly here in North Carolina, and before you know it, all the trees have lost most of their leaves already. I have one more watercolor painting that's coming out very soon, probably in the next week, and that will be one final strongly influenced autumn scene from a photograph I took to Asheville, North Carolina. It was very beautiful to go up into the mountains there, into the Blue Ridge Mountains, and walk along the Blue Ridge Parkway and see the overlooks. The gorgeous fall, peak of falls when I went. It was wonderful. But yeah, so anyways, all the trees have already lost their leaves, and we are already feeling like winter around here. Ugh. I wish it had stayed fall for longer. One of my favorite times of the year, and I'm always sad to see it already gone. Going back and putting a few more of the clouds here. Trying to define this outer bank here with some gray. Slightly warmer gray. You can notice it's a little bit different than the bluish gray I used at the very beginning. Creating a bank line here. Thought about bringing these two together, and I think I just leave it like that. I don't even fill in the rest of it. Put some green out there. I don't think I keep it this way. I think I do undo that. I didn't like it. So I'm going to just leave it like that. I'm going to cover up that whole section with some foreground trees anyways. I'm really liking this sort of smoky, atmospheric, misty style with the chalk and with this oil style paintbrush that's very loose and not doing a thick coverage. It's kind of a neat effect, and I think it overall has a very nice aesthetic. I'm really enjoying the style of it. It's very different from what my other stuff, and that's kind of exciting. Just trying out a few brushes here, trying to find the right one. I think I settle on a nice chalk brush here, and I put it on some darker gray, some smoky gray. I'm going to put a bunch of these limbs here, sort of a big thicket of trees, right here on the side of this bank. Just trying to figure out what the best approach is to kind of sketch it or to do a straight line. And I want them going off the canvas. I really want to focus on pushing back that background further. A great way to do that is to have your foreground objects go right off the top of the canvas, and that will create a huge difference in height. Sketching this quickly here. I'm going to do a whole bunch of these, so buckle your seatbelts. We might be here for a moment. Again, this is real time, so I'm not going to speed this up at all. Just using gray and shades of it, slowly getting darker. I can also adjust at the top left the size of the brush that I'm using, but right now I'm going to stick with just this uniform style, and then I have it set so that if I adjust the angle, it will thin out the ends a little bit. I'm just trying to bring in a few more here. Looking good, looking good. I have to say I've been really impressed with this program overall. I have done several other paintings that are complete paintings, I would say, in digitally, and they've been really fun to do. I've been messing with this probably for the last month, 2 months now, and I haven't done any videos of it because I wanted to be really comfortable with the program first. But there is so much packed into this photo editing software, and it really does work amazingly well for doing digital art. There are, of course, other programs out there that are supposedly better for artists, and I haven't tried those, so I couldn't attest to that or not, but for what I wanted to do, it seems to work quite well. I'm thinking if these go over well and you all like them, please leave a comment. Let me know if you want to see more. Hit that like button. That's a great indicator to me. If I'm getting likes on my videos, then I know, yeah, keep doing these. If I'm not getting any likes, then I'm going to think, maybe this is not what you guys want to see. So give me some feedback. Let me know what kind of paintings do you want to see. Let me know in the comments. That would be most helpful for me, because while I have all these ideas and things I want to try, if you let me know what you'd like me to maybe try or focus on or try to include in the next month or 2 months, then I will do my very best to do so if at all possible. I can't draw everything, and I am still learning each and every time I do a painting. Grabbed an eraser tool by the way there, and I'm just pushing this farther back behind this ridge line. I decided that I liked what was going on, but I wanted to push it back a little bit. Lets the path come forward a bit better. I think it looks a lot better too, kind of hiding behind that hill. It's that thicket of trees right by the river. This sort of reminds me, as I'm thinking of it, of my childhood. My father is a very avid fisherman. My grandfather is as well. And so my father has had a slew of boats my entire childhood, and we would go up to the lakes and the rivers in sunny Northern California. We would go up into the Sierra Nevada mountains. We would go to several lakes in the area as well. Now my father, being an avid fisherman, like I said, loved to get to the lake before the sun was even up. So we would get up quite early in the morning. He would hand us a cup of coffee and let's go. And he would get us up and out, me and my brother, and we would get the boat loaded up and be on the lake, driving between an hour to 2 hours away to get there before the sun had risen. And you'd be sitting there in the stillness of the morning, there are poles out in the water, and you could watch the sunrise behind you. It was quite lovely. So this painting, although the foliage and everything is not very Californian, the sort of idea of it being having a river here or a lake and then the sun rising behind is very much inspired by my own personal experiences, which is always great when you can pull yourself into your art. If you can have a memory, try to capture perhaps the feeling of that in your painting, it can be quite effective. Do some smaller strokes here using that chalk brush there. Going back to the darker, I've gone to a much darker black, and I'm going to start to pull forward some of these trees so you can get some better definition. Now I'm trying to be very careful here. I don't want it to be too dark, but it needs to be darker than the background, because if it gets darker closer to you, it's going to help push that background because the light is behind further back. The light is behind it, so anything closer to you is going to look darker. It's kind of a rule of thumb. It's not always true. And again, looking at photographs and being out in nature and observing what you see is always the best way to handle lighting issues. But for now, I'll just stick with that rule of thumb. Just erasing a few things there. Wanted to better define that. Alright. Again, this is just a quick chalk style sketch. I'm not going to be putting in all the details that you could sit here and for hours work on, putting back some of that back bank there with my oil style brush. I'm just going to giving the indication and the impression of this scene. For me, if you can just, in a few strokes as possible, get down your idea and communicate what is going on in the painting, then I usually like that better. I'm attracted to art that does that. If you have to spend hours and hours and hours making it look photographically perfect, I respect that. I do. I think that's really amazing artists who can do that. But I'm often attracted to the slightly more impressionistic paintings, the ones that are looser and more abstracted personally. So my art reflects that preference that I have for that style of paintings. Just trying to find the right brush size here. So using that black color, I'm going to put some darker shadows on some of these branches. Make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. Few smaller branches here, trying to get the right shape, not quite getting it, but if I don't quite get it, I can always go back and undo it and try again. One of the great things about doing digital art is that you are always able to undo, reverse, try something again until you find something that you actually really like and are happy with. My first instinct here is to add just a few faint lines, sort of indicating maybe ice that's happening here on this lake, but I realized I wanted to reflect more of the sky in it, so I'm going to create that effect by taking my mid-tone gray and reflect what's above loosely in the water there. Went a little bit too heavy there. Gotta lighten up a bit. So I'm gonna have to go back maybe and grab my eraser tool and fix that. But again, because this program is so great, you can quickly do that. So if you go a little bit too heavy-handed, it's not a big deal. You can just grab the eraser, erase what's there, adding a few reflections of the shadows of this tree, because the light's behind, there's going to be some shadowed areas behind it. And I'm going to just put a few darker sections here, some gray. Again, what's closer to you will be darker, and so this is a small effort to darken up the foreground a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit, so that it's going to come forward towards you. Some grass here by this path. I think I might add another tree on the left-hand side, kind of balance this out a little bit. Maybe it's better without it, I'm not sure. Another cool thing about the program is that if you save it in layers, it's possible that you can create a layer of something, see if you like it, and then just delete the layer, and then it never existed. So if I started a new layer right now, I could paint the next tree in over top of the current painting that I have, see if I like it. If I don't, erase it. Looking at it right now, maybe it would be better to leave it as is and have your focus be pushed to that left-hand corner. As it was in the moment, I think I did add in a tree, and unfortunately I didn't think to use this layer method I was talking about, and I could have tested it out, see if I like it, and then gone back. But C'est la vie, that's how it goes. And maybe next time I'll think twice before putting another tree in. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments what you think. Now this is just the first of perhaps many of these painting videos. I have to say, as far as setup time, this was amazing. Just open my computer up, open the program, and I'll get to painting. No fuss, no mess. So if you're someone who's interested in doing art, you're a beginning artist, but don't want to have to worry about maybe dropping paint on your carpet, maybe having to get out all of your brushes, setting everything up, tearing everything down. You only have, you have a fast-paced lifestyle. Maybe you're always at work and you just want to do this for relaxation in the evenings, but you don't want to have to do a lot of effort. Using a digital art program like Photoshop here could be your solution to that problem. You can open up the program, get right to painting, be creative, get your outlet, and do that, and you don't have to worry about making that much of a mess. No mess, no fuss. It's awesome. And for me, for recording purposes, this was easy. I just set my computer to record my screen, and then I paint. It was super easy. When I do the other painting videos in the traditional, where I'm actually painting paint on a canvas, either acrylic, oil, or watercolor, I find that I have to adjust the colors a lot more. I have to be very careful with making sure it's lighted correctly. It's a lot more thinking involved. With this, it was just click, away I go. So I really like that. I'm very attracted to that quality and the ease of that. Okay, we're nearly done with this painting. I've been rambling on for a little bit now. I don't know if you hope you can't tell. Just putting in a few darker sections here on the right hand side. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this little piece. Now thinking about it and looking back on it, I might want to take out that left hand tree. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. Maybe got a little bit too dark with these trees here on the right, but that happens. Well, this certainly has been fun. Alright, well, if you'd like to see more of my work, please subscribe to this channel. You can just check out all my other paintings. I have lots of painting videos, so be sure to check them out. Do let me know in the comments if you would like to see more watercolor paintings, more acrylic paintings, or more oil paintings. Or if you would like to see more digital art, of course, please, again, let me know. Thank you to everyone who supports this channel and my art. I really appreciate all the kind comments and feedbacks that I've been getting, and I would love to hear more from you all. Thank you so much. Again. Alright, so check out my art on Etsy at etsy.com/shop/impulsiveartistry. You can also check out my art blog, impulsiveartistry.blogspot.com. Again, that's impulsiveartistry.blogspot.com, where you can find all kinds of cool things. I've talked about it before in other videos, so I won't do that now, but go check it out. I feature a lot of my paintings in my painting videos. You'll find that I have photography, all kinds of stuff. Just check it out. impulsiveartistry.blogspot.com. Alright, here's the final piece. I think it turned out pretty good. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic, creative day. Please subscribe, like, and share this video, and I look forward to reading your comment. Thanks!